Kundalini is an energy that is sitting in the base of your spine. And I want you to imagine that energy is like a snake. So that's why the Kundalini, it's usually like a snake.
What's the goal of Kundalini Awakening? Why does somebody would want to awaken their Kundalini?
I will ask you, what's the goal of life?
Experience it.
Are you going to experience life from fear, working in a job that you hate, not having good relationships, and you call that life? Kundalini, once it starts to awaken, even in the early stages, you will start tasting life. This journey, or even not new, and you have someone that you didn't forgive yet, that's an energy that will always keep you down, and you will not go anywhere in your life. Energetically, it's not good. Physically, it will become sickness if you don't deal with it.
And in past lives, those people had burnt a forest which was responsible for taking so many lives. And the pilot was the leader of that mob.
Yeah.
Does that mean whatever is happening in this current reality is their own karma?
We're not saying that. So the idea is women, they should choose to work, not obliged to work.
Forced
They
to work,
should
yes.
choose something they can be creative, because the feminine energy is intuition and creation. The feminine is surrender. It's
surrender.
the feminine, it's surrendering, it's letting go, it's the opposite of controlling.
You can have all these millionaires and billionaires. Let's say Elon Musk.
No, Elon Musk, I don't think he has a Kundalini awakening, to be honest.
So welcome to the next episode of The Soul Unfolding. So this is all behind the scenes, but in this episode, I have Wafa with us, who's a sound healer, a Kundalini facilitator, and somebody who has walked the path of awakening. So I want to ask her questions about what Kundalini is, break the myths of what happens when you actually awaken your Kundalini, the journey that one has to go through, the practices that you have to undergo, and how life changes when you are in that process and when it finally awakens. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for being with us, Wafa.
Thank you for having me, Rahul. It's always a pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, what exactly is Kundalini? I've heard so much about Kundalini awakening, Kundalini going up from your root chakra, but in a simple terms, if you would like to explain everybody who doesn't know about Kundalini, what exactly Kundalini is?
Kundalini is an energy that is sitting in the base of your spine. And I want you to imagine that energy is like a snake. So that's why the Kundalini, it's usually like a snake. That's the energy symbol. And that snake is coiled and sitting in the base of your spine. Once the Kundalini is awakening, that snake starts going up from the base of your spine, going through all the chakras until reaching the crown. And that's when you will have a spiritual awakening. But there is so many steps. And this can be a one-time experience where people have an awakening in one time, or it can be a whole life path. So it depends.
So you mentioned, is it an actual snake?
So we believe that the energy, so again, Kundalini is energy, right? But the energy is coiled, and the way how it goes up, it goes like a snake. That's the symbol of it. That's how it goes. Why they symbolize it like that? Because it goes through all the chakras, from the bottom to the top. So the Kundalini doesn't go from top to bottom.
Okay.
It goes from bottom to top, going through the root, solar plexus, sacral, and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why from bottom to top and not top to down?
That's how it's built. So it's built from the root chakra, which is us being grounded into earth, right? In the earth, and then going up to the heavens.
Okay.
So you anchor into earth and you go up to the heavens. As above, so below.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are the signs that can tell me that I'm in the process of Kundalini awakening?
So many signs. One of the signs is you feel like you're asking so many questions about life. You start reflecting, you start not accepting things in life, and you start looking at your life like as patterns, right? And you're like, oh, this is not how I want my life to be. And you start getting curious. So curiosity is one of the signs that your Kundalini is starting to awaken, because you start asking questions. You don't accept this reality as it is, or as they taught us to be. You start rebelling on your own beliefs, not rebelling on society, but on your own beliefs. Yeah, and these are one of the signs, of course. And then once you get in more advanced stages, then you're gonna have synchronicities, dreams, things aligning, right? It's like life will start flowing more.
So curiosity, questioning life, you said, is the first step that
Yeah.
indicates somebody is going through a Kundalini awakening.
Yes.
And then it can also come through dreams.
Yes.
How is that?
The messages comes through dreams. So some people, they have very intense dreams or lucid dreams where they wake up in the dream and they visit places. And when they come back, they know they've been there. So that's a spiritual experience. So again, the Kundalini will awaken with so many different modalities. There is not only one religion, one practice, one modality. There is so many doors. So you can have a lucid dream that will make you realize, oh, there is more to life. Oh, I've been in the other realm. I've been in another dimension. So that create curiosity and you want to explore more. Yeah.
So seeing messages is in my dream is also a sign that my Kundalini is awakening.
Is awakening, the process.
Okay.
Again, to have an awakened Kundalini, like we're talking about these guru people who already realize they are God, right? That's really hard to reach. Again, there is people who are born like that, like Yogananda. He's born and he already realized that he's God. And there is people who reach there like monks, right? Into very hard practices, very strict practices, right? And there is people who have it spontaneously like that. It depends. Like, it really depends. There is no one right answer. There is so many experiences and everyone's experience is so different.
But what's the goal of Kundalini awakening? Like, there are steps to it, but why does somebody would want to awaken their Kundalini, or why does it happen?
I will ask you, what's the goal of life?
To experience it.
But how are you going to experience life? Are you going to experience life from fear, working in a job that you hate, not having good relationships, and you call that life? Or living life from the heart, finding your passion, helping people? There is two choices. If your Kundalini is awakened, you're going to go to the second choice because you're going to start living life from your heart, right? You start realizing, what is this? You understand that doesn't exist. This is all matrix, right? You realize you are consciousness. You realize you are part of God, and you start having fun with life, not surviving life. That's unfortunately what not everyone, but most of the people are doing right now. We are trying to survive this life, not really living authentically. So that's what Kundalini, once it starts to awaken, even in the early stages, you will start tasting life. What is really life? Because you're going to have new awareness. You're going to wake up in the morning aware. You will make your choice. I'm not going to scroll on the phone because I'm aware. I'm going to do breath work. I'm going to connect with nature. Imagine you live a life like that. You make a choice in every moment in your life.
Wow. I think if my Kundalini is awakening, I would go one step up and one step back because of all the Instagram and Facebook.
No, I think you will snap out of it. Once the Kundalini is awakened, like why people, when they do ayahuasca ceremony, plant medicine ceremony, they have life-changing experience. They really stop these habits. Like, you will wake up and you will feel like you don't want to open your phone anymore because you want that alone time with yourself and with nature. That's more important. Your priority will change. So you can reach that level when your Kundalini is awakening.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you also mentioned that if you're making right decisions in life, the way you look at life, you look at it from love rather than living it in fear.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say that anybody who's living their life with love, giving back to people, they are at peace, their Kundalini is awakened?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And even if you go to gurus and teachers, they will say the same. So these people, we are all in the same path, right? Me, you, these guru, we are just different levels. It doesn't mean you are spiritually awakened or your Kundalini is awakened, that it's peace and love 100% all the time. But that means you know how to deal with challenges, or your comeback time from a problem is quicker compared to us. You understand? So let's say my Kundalini is not awakened. There is a problem. It will take me one day to get over it. If someone is so aware, it will take him 1 hour to get over it.
Yeah.
There will be always challenges, even for the most advanced people. The difference is how much time you need to come back from it, to realize, oh, watch out, this is the matrix, and come back to your higher self.
That does sound fascinating.
Yeah.
This is something that I realized after being on that journey of meditation, spending time with myself and releasing my old patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And now if there's a challenge, it's easier for me to detach and be like, okay, this is not, let's say, a challenge. Maybe it's just a lesson that I have to overcome. And it does become easier because you're able to look at it from a third person's perspective.
Exactly.
Rather than actually be attached to it.
So I'll ask you what changed. I mean, I know you're asking me the questions right now, but just to make a point. So what changed between the old you used to get caught up in the problem, and the new you, that you could see the problem, you detach and you understand. So what changed?
You can still ask me questions, you know that, right?
Yeah, I know. So what changed, right? I'm asking you, what do you think changed?
I believe a lot of things. The first thing was...
I'll tell you one thing changed. One thing changed in you.
I started focusing on the inside rather than the outside.
Okay, what do you call that?
What do I call that?
Yeah, when you focus on the inside and not the outside.
There's a word for it?
Awareness.
Oh, yes.
That's what changed. And that's what Kundalini is. Because Kundalini is not like some woo-boo, whatever energy. No, it's awareness. What changed between the old version? You have higher awareness right now that you can see it. When your Kundalini is more awakened, you will have more awareness than this right now. And imagine what you can create with bigger awareness than this. Imagine what choices in life you can make with more awareness. It's unlimited, literally.
How do I know that my Kundalini is fully awakened then?
How do you know your Kundalini is fully awakened?
Like, what's the scale? Like, when you talk about, like, you know, you have those forms on the scale of 1 to 10. How did you have that experience? How do I rate that Kundalini scale? Is there even an end to it?
I think the end is after we leave this world and we merge with the source. That's the end of it. I don't think we can experience the end of it here. There is so many levels of Kundalini that you cannot finish in one lifetime, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like that, yeah.
Can you walk me through those levels?
There is a level of you're realizing, okay, I don't want this life. Like, okay, this is the matrix, this is it. You're getting curious. And then there is a level of working on your trauma. Like childhood trauma, forgiveness, shadow work. We call that shadow work. And then you come out from that shadow work lighter, and you are not angry on your past anymore. Your past doesn't trigger you anymore, right? So that's a big thing because, yeah, so when the past doesn't trigger you anymore and it doesn't hold power over you, your relationships with yourself, your partner, your parents will start being better, right? Everything will align. And then you start looking for your purpose in life because you don't accept working a corporate job or whatever. You would want to do something impactful, right? When the Kundalini is awakened, then you start looking for your purpose. You find it and you align. So when your spirituality is aligning with your life, with your 3D, with your earth life, you know that you are on the right path of awakening. Again, it is not a destination. I know that you want to pinpoint it. It's not a destination, it's a journey. That is a journey. And even once you reach that journey, you have your passion, you have your purpose. There is other levels to that as well.
Wow.
More like accepting people, accepting that not everyone is as spiritual as you, being more tolerant, and there's so many other things.
Wouldn't somebody who's not going through this Kundalini awakening can also experience this? Because you're talking about working on your past traumas and childhood issues.
Yeah.
So how do you differentiate between somebody who's actually going through an Kundalini awakening versus somebody who's just working on their emotional triggers?
Yeah.
Is there a bifurcation or Because a person who's not going through a Kundalini awakening can also work on their childhood trauma just to be a better person, but not take that spiritual route.
Yeah. So again, you can work on yourself to be a better person, but again, what is self? It is just personality or a soul, right? Because you're talking about two different things. Because again, Kundalini, we're talking about soul, about the truth of this life. And when you talk about personality, you're talking about something 3D that will die in a few years. So if you are going through an emotional release, let's say you're working on your childhood trauma and all that, but then these triggers, they still trigger you. There is no awakening. Because awakening, it means realizing that you are not those triggers. That's what awakening is realizing I am detached from this. So if you are still getting triggered, still being rude, still getting irritated from people, even when they are not good with you still, it means that's not an awakening. That's release. You're working on yourself. Awakening is when you reach a point where you are flowing with everything, flowing with life, accepting, less controlling, being okay with people, no matter who they are, good or bad, and understanding that everyone has his own journey.
My question is, if I were to take this and incorporate whatever you said into my journey, let's say I have a belief that I have to work on.
Yeah.
I am actively aware that it's a belief that it doesn't align with my true self.
Okay.
But I constantly sometimes juggle with it. I tend to attach myself to it, but sometimes I don't.
Okay.
So
what do you need to do?
What do I need to do in that case?
Well, you have to work on that belief. My question is, how did you work on your other beliefs? So you said before in the past, some beliefs, they don't hold power over you, right? How did you reach that point? Usually, first thing is therapy. Therapy is always very good. I'm talking not spiritual right now. Because you need to understand, you need to gain as much knowledge as possible about that belief so you can detach from it. So you need to try to gain as much information as possible. Let's say the belief is you get angry because someone shut the door. So with therapy, they will try to make you understand why that belief triggers you so much. And for sure, it's related to childhood. So you go back to childhood, you try to understand what happened, and you try to reprogram. You do this mentally with a therapist. You can do that energetically, which called release. So let's say you're working on anger. So there is some frequencies that you can listen to, or some practices like Kundalini yoga or some breath work that will really reduce your anger. If, for example, you get irritated because someone shut the door, for example, so you will have the awareness like, okay, I can take 3 deep breaths and I will not react to that. And you practice with that 1 time, 2 times, 3 times until it becomes part of you.
It becomes like subconscious.
Yeah, it will be the new you, right? But always, the ego always want to go back to the old you. He'll be like, oh, come on, how are you accepting this? You should shout on this, right? That's when the awareness comes. No, this is a new me. I want to be this type of person. I don't want to be reactive. I don't want this problem to hold power over me, right? I want to be calm. I can hold space for people. So it comes from the inside.
So that means if I have to walk that Kundalini awakening path, I have to work on my traumas and beliefs, because if I don't work on that, that journey cannot start.
Oh yeah, not you cannot start. You cannot advance. It's not, the journey is already started, right? But where are you gonna reach? There is people who will reach very high very quickly, and there is people who get stuck. So what's the difference? Some people, they have the motivation to work on everything, and some people, they get lazy. Oh, no, I'm good like this. Until they are in a relationship, and that relationship will bring the problems, and that's when they start looking and they say, okay, I have to work on this. There is no other way. You cannot have an awakening if you are still stuck with the past. No matter how the past was painful, you have to do the work and understand why there was pain and just let it go and move on with your life. Otherwise, if you're gonna carry that, it will not go to the higher frequency. Like the higher frequency is the frequency of forgiveness, frequency of love. So you cannot keep carrying all these triggers with you. You have to get rid of them. And one of the biggest things that I always bring in my sessions is forgiveness. I always say, if you are new in this journey, or even not new, and you have someone that you didn't forgive yet, that's an energy that will always keep you down, and you will not go anywhere in your life. Forgiveness. It's a big theme.
Yes. It's not easy as well.
Yeah.
It is not, because the human body tends to hold so many emotions, so many memories, so many incidences where you have been hurt, you have been looked down upon.
Yes.
It's hard to work on those.
Yeah.
It's hard to work on those.
But that's why, because it is like that, that's why it's heavy on the body. We carry all these memories. That person did that to us, his face, how he talked to us, even though that person is wrong with us, he wronged us. That's pain that we carry. At some point, you have to release that pain. For how long you gonna carry that? Energetically, it's not good. Physically, it will become sickness if you don't deal with it. So whether it is parent or brother, sister, cousin, or an ex relationship, for ex relationships, you can write a letter and do a ceremony and burn it in the fire because you don't want to contact an ex partner. But for family, you would want to do that step. And again, forgiving, you can forgive with boundaries. It doesn't mean I forgive you, let's have fun together again. I forgive you, I understand, I love you, and let's move on. I move on from that. It's up to him if he's going to forgive you. It doesn't matter if the other person will forgive you or not. Because I think people are so scared to do this step because they're scared the other person will not forgive and they're going to reject. It doesn't matter. You are doing it for yourself. You want to clean your heart. You don't want to have something in your heart. Because the day where you're going to leave this world, you want to be as pure as possible. So this is how forgiveness is one of the biggest themes that people should work on. Once you do that piece, it's already a journey in itself, forgiveness. It will take time. You will take time to sit. If you have to forgive your father, oh, my father did this to me, he did that. You have to sit with those, forgive, let go, and try to rebuild that relationship.
Okay. But this would, forgiveness, let's say a person is not holding any grudges and there is nothing to forgive, but they do have some other belief. And hypothetically, let's just say they do not overcome that for a long period of time, 10, 15 years. Does that mean that they get stuck in that journey and they would have to come back again?
But depends what belief. You need to tell me. I don't know. You have to tell me what belief they have about that person. Is it judgment?
Could be. Let's say it's
judgment.
Let's say it's self-doubt. Let's say there is a belief that not a belief, there is a thing that where you always self-doubt yourself. And if you don't overcome that in this lifetime, do you have to come back on Earth again to fix that? Or?
Yeah, because you're self-doubting yourself because you think you are that guy who maybe when you were a kid, they mock you at class, so you lost your confidence back then and you carried it with you. The idea of awakening is realizing that you are God. God is complete. The soul is complete. The soul is full. There is no self-doubt. So if you're feeling self-doubt, that is not you. Right? And the idea is to reach to you, to be complete, to be full. So you have to go there again, because you self-doubting yourself means you're not realizing who you are. So you're not there yet. So the questions are why you are self-doubting, when did this start, with who it started, how can you reprogram that belief and understand why that happened to you and move forward without it.
Okay. And if I don't realize that, that means I won't be able to step into my power until then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, self-doubt is one of the things that you have to overcome, right? Why self-doubt? Is because you don't trust your skills. Why you don't trust your skills? You need to increase your belief in yourself. Depends. There is so many layers to it.
Does it also mean that it was one of my life lessons in this life?
It can be, yeah, for sure. If it keep repeating and you see it as a pattern, it means, that is your life lesson and you have to get the lesson. You better get it this time because you have a nice life here. You don't want to reincarnate to be in somewhere else, right?
Yes. Yes.
harder.
So does that also mean if I completely awaken to that Kundalini journey, I won't have to come back to Earth again?
So this is what I believe.
Yes.
Like from the books, from whatever I really believe. Yeah, if you reach a level of awareness, I think in this life, you might not reincarnate, and there is other levels in the spiritual world. Like
what?
Like there is this book I'm reading. It's about the whole existence and what this life and the other life. So even when we die and when we go to the other realm, there is other laws, there is other levels, there is teachers, there is schools. So let's say we die in this life, we didn't learn the lesson, we go to school there.
Another
School
one.
of souls. Yeah, it's school for souls, so we can learn why this life didn't work for us, learn the lesson, and prepare for the next life. This
But
is what
that could be on some another planet or
yeah,
some
it
other
can be
dimension.
anything. Yeah, it can be dimension. It can be you can reincarnate as an animal. You can reincarnate as anything. There is no gender. It's just consciousness. You can reincarnate in any other dimension.
That is true. That is something I myself believe in. Like the soul is so pure, it doesn't have genders. Genders is
Yeah.
something that we have created so that we can put on a costume on this earth and then experience life through that character or a VR headset.
Exactly.
Let's put the spotlight on you now so that and understand how did this journey start for you?
The journey of spirituality.
Yes. How did you get into this? When did you realize that what you were experiencing was Kundalini Awakening? How did you navigate that?
Okay, so that was during a plant medicine ceremony, doing an ayahuasca ceremony. Again, I am spiritual from before, and I always had questions in life. Since I'm a kid, I lost my grandmother, I lost my other grandmother, so I've had to face death and really understand at a very early age. So I was on that path, but then I lost my way. I lost my way, I don't know, working in a corporate, friends, partying, alcohol, having fun, right? All these things. But I always had that question in the back of my head, like, for sure there is more to life. Until I experienced the plant medicine ceremony. So I went into the ceremony with the intention to meet God and blame Him for all this pain that's happening in this world, why this is happening. And that's when my Kundalini, I had a type of awakening. I wouldn't say it's completely awakened, but I would say I had a type of awakening where I really connected and I realized that the life that I had before, that was not it. And I have to change something.
And what was that something?
My whole life changed. For me, plant medicine was life-changing experience. So again, I used to be an angry person. So now I'm more calm. My emotions, I'm more in control with my emotions. I'm connected to hobbies and passions, right? Before I used to think, oh, it's too late now to learn something new. And actually, when you really connect, when you have an awakening, you will have that creative energy in you and you would want to try new things. And then you're going to discover yourself, oh, I'm actually not bad at this. I'm actually not good at drawing, but I'm good at snowboarding. That's when I start discovering myself after ayahuasca, right? I was trying things. I connected with hobbies. And from before, I like photography, I like videography. So I merged this passion to create something on my Instagram, for example, which is my travel. So I travel and then I share these videos to inspire. I share videos of moments when I travel, like sunset, sunrise, something that really connects me with something big. So I combine spirituality, creativity, my passion for traveling, and my passion for adventure as well. Because again, awakening is not just sitting in a temple or meditating a whole day. It's doing that part and bringing that into your life and materialize it and having fun with life. Because that's one of the reasons why we are here. It's to learn, have fun, and then help people to realize as well. So that's what the ceremony gave me. The plant medicine. Yeah, I mean, again, it's 6 years. It has been 6 years. but it's a journey. It is not one day. The day of the ceremony, you don't understand anything. You wake up, you're like, whoa, what is this? Where am I? What's this life? Right? So many questions, and you go into that cycle. And then you start coming back, grounded. You start looking at yourself, your personality. Again, childhood, forgiveness. And then you start looking at your current life and what you want to change. And you feel like you are flowing.
With life.
With life, yeah. It's very nice. Instead of fighting with life. Because I used to fight with life before. I used to make things happen forcefully. Now I flow with the energy.
And that's a drastic difference.
That's a huge difference, yeah. I used to be an anxious person. I used to like make things happen in a very anxious way. Again, I still have that personality right now, but it's more like authentic. Like I want to make things happen from my heart. Not I want to make things happen to prove something to someone. So the intention changes, and that changed your whole life. And again, people, they think spiritual awakening, your whole life is going to change physically. It's not the physique that's going to change. It's the inside. It's the way how you look at yourself that will change. Once that change, then it will start reflecting.
Outside.
Outside,
because,
yeah.
As inside, as outside.
Yes.
Yeah, because the entire outside world is created from your thoughts, your manifestations.
Yeah.
So that's what, if you fix everything from within,
exactly.
Your thoughts, your beliefs, because the way you see the world, that changes too.
Yeah, I agree. That's exactly it.
So, was there any belief that changed for you before the ceremony? Or did you have any belief that was too strong and after the ceremony it completely changed?
Yeah, I would say my belief about spirituality in general. Because you think you can only connect through your own religion. And if you don't follow what religion is saying, you're going to be burned in hell and God is not happy with you.
Did you believe that?
At some point, yes, I did believe that, yeah. Because it's written in the books. Mm-hmm. It's the whole religion that believes in that. Mm-hmm. And I would say I feel like religions are like that. They will tell you, follow me or you're not going to be good.
You're going to go to hell.
Yeah, you're going to go to hell, right? So what ayahuasca showed me that it's way bigger than that. It's way bigger than the limitation of a book and religion. Imagine God, the creator of all this, is not going to limit you because, I don't know, you did something small, He's going to burn you in hell. It's not like that. It's actually more metaphor. Again, I believe hell and heaven you created in your head. There is so many people right now, they are living hell. And there is so many people who doesn't have a lot of belongings and they live heaven. So when you start getting into these things, you start understanding that the books, they show you the way, but it's not the only way.
Correct. Yes. Religion also is, let's say, it gives you direction, but it's not the ultimate truth.
Yes.
Because every religion, you would have to follow a certain set of principles that can get somebody who's not spiritual to be on that path to pray God. But that doesn't mean that if you have to follow something on your own and deviate, that's not acceptable.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is, I think, that we forget. A lot of people focus on religion. They have to follow everything to the T.
Yeah.
But that is not true. Spirituality is above religion.
Exactly.
So that's how I see it. Spirituality is encompassing everything. It's the one, it's the source.
Yeah.
It didn't create religions. I think religions was something that was created by us. And all of them at the end point towards the same meaning. We just have forgotten that interpretation.
Exactly. I think all religions, they show the same truth.
Yes.
Which is, we are here for a reason. All the 4 religions, they say the same thing. We are here for a reason. We are sent for something. We were created, right? And there is a creator. They all share the same truth. So where we start deviating, that's the thing. Where people start being against each other. For me, that's not true religion. Because religion, especially in my religion, they teach you how to accept other people, not judge other people. But then you see so many people who claim to be religious and they do all these things. Mm-hmm. They judge. And for me, it's just they're pretending true spirituality is something that comes from the inside. Like, you cannot really fake it. Who are you pretending? Like, are you trying to lie to the creator who created you, who's already inside you, right? So yeah.
Was the journey tough for you? I know you had that ceremony where things changed.
Yeah.
And now you see light in a completely different way. You went to blame God, but now you realize that God is within you and the
Yeah.
way you see life changes.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
But how easy was it? I'm sure you must have had your own battles to fight.
Yeah, I don't think it was easy at all for me. I had no support. Again, when I did ayahuasca and I came out of it, I was like, what? I need a teacher. At that time, 6 years ago, not a lot of people did ayahuasca. So you don't really find a lot of a lot of data, a lot of help. If you go to someone talk about ayahuasca, they tell you there is no information. So that was really hard because I had to learn by myself with my own experience. That's when I was alone. That's when I sit with the creator, because I had no one else. Again, I was in Canada. I had no family. I just broke up from a relationship because I came back from ayahuasca. I was like, what is this? This is not aligned with me. Yeah, it was exactly like, I was like, this is not aligned with me. And I just broke up. So I was alone in so much pain and confusion. That's when I connected. That's when change happened. When I really said, I cannot do this anymore, like, take me, do something, I don't know, that's when I connected. And that's when I realized I don't really need anything. You only need that connection.
Yeah.
And that changed my relationship with pain, because if you ask me how you describe your whole journey, I will say pain. Pain was a major theme in my journey. But then I understood through pain, I was leveling up every time. No matter pain from childhood, pain from parents, pain from friends, any pain from myself that I'm carrying. Through that pain, I was leveling up more and more.
That's the thing, right? We think that other people are giving us pain, but are they really giving us pain, or are the stories inside our head and our grudges and so much importance that we give to ourselves, that's giving us pain?
Yeah.
Because since last year, things have been a bit different for me. And now, if it's so easy to kind of understand that if I am going through something, let's just say it's a trigger of mine, it is also caused because I have that belief. The other person has probably nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And the relationships that you encounter, they are mirror to teach you something. So either you can get stuck in it, or you can use them as steps and just move up the ladder.
Exactly. But again, you need to have that awareness.
That's
because when you are in it, it's hard. That's why not a lot of people do it. That's why it's hard. It's hard to have that awareness, but it's possible. This is what I'm saying. Like, if you are an angry person, or you get irritated from your mother or your father because they talk to you a certain way, you can reach a level where you work on yourself where you don't get triggered by that at all, because you will see them as a soul in them journey. They are trapped too. They are in them journey too. So you look at them with love. Even though they shout at you, you'll be like, it's okay, I understand.
Yeah.
But to have that awareness, there is so many other steps. Again, you need to work on yourself, on your trauma, do the shadow work. So shadow work is a big theme. Shadow work, it means whatever doesn't work in your life, it's because of you. So you stop blaming people and you start owning your part. And that's how you start, one by one. It's fun. It is, at some point, it's like a game. You're like, oh, wow, last week I used to get irritated from
and now
this
I
week.
don't, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like a game. It's like, whoa, this is working. And I'm telling you, because it worked for me and it worked with the people around me and the people that I'm guiding in the session, people can change. If your life right now, if you're not happy with your life right now, you are an angry person, you hold grudge, you have fights with people, you're not really happy, you can change. It doesn't need to be your story. You can really change, but you need to be serious to be on this path. Not having the intention to change and then do nothing about it.
Yeah. But that also depends on the surroundings that you have. Because I feel that the reason I've been able to grow so much into my spiritual journey is because of her. When I would get angry, she would be the one to stay calm. So that gave me a platform to kind of calm my nervous system down. But if I were to take an example of my previous relationships, if both of them are lashing out, you can't even take the first step of that spiritual journey.
Yeah.
And you even mentioned, for example, parents. You can, if they are behaving a certain way towards you, imagine being so detached from them, because family relationships, they also hold you back in that journey.
Yeah, true.
So how do you deal with that? Because at the end of the day, if you think everybody is a soul, you would leave so many people behind.
True. For my parents, it's different. For friends, it's a different story. But for the parents, it's hard because they are your parents. They bring you into this earth. And there is a belief that maybe we chose our parents for a reason, right? Sometimes unaware parents can have a kid who's so aware and so connected. There is a reason. So you need to learn what's the lesson. What these parents are showing in you. You are impatient. Are you getting irritated because she point out something, right? So you have to work on that. They are helping you to be the best version of you. You need to see it that way. Because if you want to see it like, oh, my mom, how can she talk to me like this? Like, she's my mother. How come she cannot love me? Or if you're going to play that game, why she doesn't do, you're going to go in the circle again. That's the part. Why she doesn't do, and she would tell you, you cannot change me. And you tell her, but you have to change, and you did this. That's a circle.
You can't change people. This is what I've
realized.
You cannot change
people. Especially parents. They don't take advice from kids.
No.
Like my mom, I told her, you want to come to my session? She's like, no. I told her, people pay to come to my session. You don't want to come? She's like, oh, no. Like I know better than you, right? They have that. I mean, there is open-minded parents, actually. Yesterday in my session, someone came with her daughter.
Wow.
Actually, yeah, this is something to mention because she came with her daughter. She's an old woman. And she told me, and I told the daughter, this is very special that you are experiencing sound bath, Kundalini with your mom, and she's open to it.
Yeah.
I told her this is so, and they start crying and we got all emotional. There is parents like that, but there is parents who are not like that. When the parents are not like that, it means the journey is harder. It means there is something in us that we have to dig and explore. What we need to do to reach a point where we accept our parents completely. Just accept them like they are. If you are not there yet, so you have to be there.
Be there yet. Okay.
You have to accept your father as he is. He bring you into this earth for a reason. So you have to love him and accept him. It's all about acceptance and not try to change them. So the more you accept, the more you can let go, the less they will have impact on you. So like for me, I can say, I accept my mom. Sometimes she behaves like my daughter. In the beginning, I used to complain, oh, how come? Like, she has to behave like a mother. Now I reach a point to accept it's okay. She can be like I accept that in her instead of fighting it.
But with acceptance, there's a point where the relationship doesn't stay the same. Because you're two different people now.
Yeah.
If I take an example of my sister, she's on a different path. She doesn't believe in God. She grew up as a Hindu. Like my father's very spiritual. Okay. Like my entire family is very spiritual. But once she moved to the UK, she probably got detached to the roots. And now she's in her own journey. Okay. And I took the spiritual part. But now I do accept that it's her journey.
Yeah.
Whatever she's going through is because of her decisions. It's her life lessons.
Yeah.
But in that case, I also, even though she is my sister, real sister, I don't feel like engaging in that conversation. And this is just one example. There are other people who are close to me. I don't feel like engaging with them. So how do I draw a difference? How do I draw a line between this is acceptance versus this is completely breaking my relationship off? Because I don't want to get more karma by breaking that entire relationship. So how do I distinguish between that? Because this is a question I ask myself a lot.
Okay. If it's your sister, you have no choice. You have to be nice to your sister, right? You are from the same blood. You cannot. If it's friends, I can tell you can choose your friends. You can choose with who you can be around. But with your sister, So you're saying that you cannot have a deep connection with her. You don't think she's as deep because she's not as spiritual as you. That's part of acceptance. You have to accept that part. That is your relation. So you have to maintain the relationship, not her. If you want to be deep, you can sit with your sister and tell her, hey, so how are you feeling about this? You initiate.
But if she's not ready to listen then?
But you're not going to lecture her.
Yeah.
You're going to have a conversation. Because if you go with the mindset of lecturing her, I want to tell her, oh, this is how you should be, then she's not going to accept. But if you go with the intention of having a conversation, you are the one who's more aware, right? You know where she is. So you're trying to have a relation. So you go to her frequency because it's hard for her to come to your frequency. She will feel like you are lecturing her. Like she will feel like, oh, he thinks that he's better than me. He thinks that his life is better than me because he's spiritual. So the idea is to accept and you create that relationship. So I have this with my brother. My brother lives in Dubai, very bling bling, right? He's completely detached from spirituality. In the beginning, I used to feel bad. Oh my God, like I want him to see this. Then I learned the hard way. That's how it is. And he will get inspired by my life. When he see my life, then he will start asking questions to himself. Actually, this is actually how you change people, I realized after. Then the way how I'm maintaining the relationship, I'm accepting where he is. We talk. How is your work? You talk a lot with money. I bought this. That's good for you.
Superficial conversation.
But it doesn't matter. I accept him like that. You have to accept. And then he asks me, what about you? I tell him I do my sessions. I did meditation. And he accepts me. Even though sometimes he's like, are you serious? You're doing this? But he said, it's okay. I support you in whatever you do. That's a type of relationship. You just accept people where they are. It doesn't mean because you are on a spiritual path and you have depthness that you are better than her. Again, if you are really on a spiritual path and you are very spiritual, then you go with love and you accept her. She wanna talk about this branded whatever bag she bought, a branded bag for whatever $1,000. Good for you. Are you happy? Did that make you happy? Right? Try to ping her, right? How does that make you feel? Are you happy? Like, how are you enjoying life? You ask her these deep questions that you ask your people in your podcast and try to make connection little by little, being aware of that without being so much overpowering on her, right?
That's
That's
something to take away today.
Yeah, because my brother is like that and I always tell him, come to Canada, I want you to experience this. And he's like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need any of your stuff, right? He's like that. And I had to accept that. It's okay.
So, you can either get down to their level and nudge them into the right direction, or supposedly, let's say, you don't talk to them. Does that mean that you're bypassing your lesson?
Why you're not talking? Are you avoiding?
Not avoiding. Maybe we have become just two different people. If I just talk to my sister, she would crib about the work, how it's all stressful,
No problem.
how it sucks. But I'm like, okay, it's your choice. If you don't like it, leave it.
Because you want to give her solution when she talks. Because when you try to create connection with your sister, it's not about she's talking about something and you're providing solutions. It's about you hold space for her when she talks.
Wow.
So she
never
talks.
thought about it that way.
Yeah, that's even with your partner, even with your wife or your partner. When she comes to you with something, she just wants you to listen. She doesn't want you to tell her, do this and do that and do that. That's holding space for the feminine.
I learned it the hard way. Trust me. It took so much amount of time to realize that when women come to you, they do not need solution. They just need somebody to hold that space for them so that they can just release and complete that emotional stress that they have been holding on to.
Exactly.
All you have to do is just be there.
Yeah.
Because men are logical. Yeah. They jump to solutions. You can do this. You can do this.
Yeah.
Just ask me a question. I will find a solution for you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And the more you hold space for them, eventually they'll come to a realization that come to the realization of whatever they are looking for. I think that's all I'll
They
say.
have the answer.
They always
When
have the
they
answer.
talk, they have the answer. Again, this is another big topic because everyone is struggling with this. Men, they don't know how to do it. They don't have the knowledge, right? So when your girlfriend come to you or your partner and you're like, oh yeah, do this and do that. And she's like, why is he talking to me like this? And that's when things escalate, right? Like men, they just need to get the knowledge, right? They need to understand when a woman come to you, she's not like fighting with you. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to prove someone right, someone wrong. You just need to hold space. And that applies to your partner, applies to your sister. Again, going back to your sister. Let her talk, give her the 5 minutes, you just listen. And then ask the real questions. So, with all this, how are you feeling? Ask about feelings, not facts. Because people like my brother and your sister, they always talk about what's happening.
Yeah.
They don't talk about what they feel. You are spiritual. You talk about how you feel. So that's how you redirect the conversation. So you don't like your job. How does that make you feel? Should you maybe change something? Do you have a hobby? How are you spending your day? Do you have friends? Right? These type of things.
Why is it so hard for anybody to talk about how they feel?
Yeah, well, because they didn't taught us that. I don't know, in our culture, you guys as a man, they don't really teach us. Yeah, it's like you have to suppress how you feel. If you're crying, don't cry in front of people, don't cry in front of class. So unfortunately, that's how it is. No one taught us. And we learned from life that, yeah, you need to really check with yourself. How are you feeling? And even when you have a connection with someone and talk about feelings, it's like different level. I'm not talking about partner. I'm talking even about friends.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about friends, she's like, oh, okay, I bought this Gucci bag. Let's say we're sitting in a circle. Oh, that's nice. So how did that make you feel? Sometimes people will be like, oh, it's just another possession, right? That's when there is a disconnect. That's when they realize as well there is something wrong. Because these people, they don't even ask themselves. They try to suppress, they try to numb something, forget about something by doing other stuff. Yeah.
I agree with the possession part. There has to be some level of detachment.
Yeah.
To money, to the things that you own. But I also feel that money is energy. The more you're on your soul path, it comes.
Yeah.
And you do have to spend it on luxuries.
You do need to spend on luxury.
You do. You don't need to get attached to it. But
okay.
If you are getting money, let's just say, if you're having the flow of money, one way to circulate it back is through service. But what are you going to do with the rest of it? Probably buy things for yourself, because this is something I'm not exactly sure about, but I'm a Virgo. And I'm also governed by number 6, which is also, and I also have Venus in my chart, which is ruled by Ma Lakshmi, and she's a Hindu goddess. And it is said that if I have to earn more money, I do have to spend it on myself.
Yeah.
Now see, that's so contradictory. One moment, I'm being told to not be attached to my possessions. And on the other hand, if I have to use my natal chart to earn money, I have to spend it on myself.
Who said you have to spend it on yourself? Even spending on yourself. So there is a difference between spending $2,000, going on a workshop in Mexico, meditation or silent meditation. It's 2 choices. Again, you're spending money for yourself in both of them. But what's the outcome? You buy a nice shoe. What's the outcome of that? And go to a workshop. What's the outcome of that? And you make your choice. Because we have to ask ourselves why we are doing what we are doing, right? What's the outcome of this? You want to spend money, I'm going to go buy something expensive. How does that make me feel when I buy something expensive?
So does that mean a filthy rich person wouldn't have their Kundalini awakened?
A rich person?
Just out of curiosity, because you can have all these millionaires and billionaires. Let's say Elon Musk. He's creating so much value.
Yeah.
and he can have whatever he wants.
Yeah. So Elon Musk, I don't think he has a Kundalini awakening, to be honest. Because if he has a Kundalini awakening, what's happening now in the world, Gaza and all these places, like he will do something about it. You cannot see something like that and not do anything about it. Elon Musk is very smart, and for sure he has a gift. He's connected. He has some neurons more activated than other people, for sure. Again, I don't really think he's that spiritual, because he's more like a businessman, smart. He can create something. But spirituality, the decisions that he's making right now, or what he made, I don't think that's really aligned with what spirituality is.
Yeah. Why do you say so?
Again, someone with that much power and that money, you can have so much impact in the world. Again, there is so many healers, small healers, they're doing impact on people's lives, right? Imagine Elon Musk with that power and that reach. What can you do to this world to make it a better place? I feel Elon Musk is more like focused on he want to exit. He want to exit this earth. But what about this earth? What can you do about it right now? How can you help people? So I don't know how he's really helping the people in need right now, since he was in Trump administration and he supported those type of decisions. So I don't really think he's that spiritual.
Okay. Kind of debatable. I don't know.
Yeah, we can debate about it.
No, I don't know much about that, but all I know is he did put some Starlinks wherever needed, his satellites.
For who? To do what?
So that people who have lost communication to the rest of the world can actually communicate.
What people? Did he put that Starlink for people who really needs it in Iran when Iran was going in war with Israel a few months ago? So yeah, again, these people are very influential, and I like Elon Musk, how he talks, how smart he is. But again, if you want to tell, I don't really think he's spiritual. That's it. I think he's good at what he's doing. I wish if he was spiritual, because people like Elon Musk, if they become spiritual, they can change the whole world. Like, he can really change the world to the good.
So the criteria to be spiritual is to change the world.
Yeah, your decisions that you are making shouldn't be to make your business win million or to be politically powerful. It should be coming from the heart. It should be for something bigger than Starlink, bigger than NASA, bigger than Donald Trump. It should be bigger. Again. Yeah. So.
Because if you look at the other community, people say that he's been able to do things that nobody has been able to achieve till now. And he has actually revolutionized the entire space. Getting AI when nobody could.
Yeah.
Getting satellites to places where nobody couldn't.
And the brain chip now. He's the first
one.
The
Neuralink, yes.
The Neuralink, right?
So maybe
but again, that's
something.
Being smart. That is not being spiritual. Now, when you tell me he created this and he created that. Okay. What did he do for humanity? Again, to help the current problems on Earth right now. Africa, they are suffering. They don't have clean water. They don't have food. They don't have this. They don't have that. There's so many current problems that's happening right now. But these people, they choose to create something, to solve something that doesn't even exist. Like AI, okay, they want to improve. Actually, I like AI. It can be really good. But again, what are you doing with the people who really needs help? Again, in Palestine right now, people are starving. Currently, they didn't eat for days. People are dying from hunger. That's a problem. If you tell me someone like Elon Musk exists and this problem still exists at the same time, I'll tell you that there is a problem in the world.
But maybe he's creating something that he likes. Or maybe he just doesn't want to solve that. Let's say if I am spiritual, because I could apply this to myself as well. Let's say if I'm spiritual, I'm creating something through my podcast that adds value, but I'm not doing something for Palestine. Does that make me non-spiritual?
No, but because you don't have the power to do something for Palestine, right? Even though I think you still can do through your podcast, you can bring someone who's Palestinian, and they can talk about them struggle and reach these people. You can still do that your own way. Again, so same for him. You can still help the people with your own way. You don't need to just go and stop the war. Again, if you look at it from a spiritual perspective, why that war is happening right now and why God is allowing so much pain and so much suffering.
Why is that?
It's for us. Again, that's happening for us to realize, what is this life? To really check with ourselves, what's the truth? How come that's happening? To have love, to have empathy. So we care about people, that these people, especially you are not in the same religion, they're not in the same, from your country, but you care because they're human beings starving and suffering. So this something will open something inside someone's heart. That's why that situation exists, to open light in people's heart. And people like you will bring through podcasts, me in my sessions, I can have Palestinian people for free in my sessions, and you try to help as much as you can. And you help and I help, and that's how we create change in this world.
That is true. Why the war is happening, I do not, first of all, engage in politics because it's all a money-making business. And as much as I've read, I also feel that there is something called as the Illuminati, which runs majority of the world. Those 7 to 9 families, they kind of govern everything. And what happens at the back end, how the singers and actors are getting famous all of a sudden, nobody knows. But I came across this extremely interesting quote on Instagram, and unfortunately we had this aircraft crash back in India a few weeks back, the Ahmedabad crash. And it was a sad situation. Everybody blamed Boeing. Then there was a conspiracy that the pilots had to do something with it. But that post was extremely unique because that guy got an interesting perspective to it, and he was a past life reader, and I'm interested by past life, and he was like, I saw the past lives of all these people, and in past lives those people had burnt a forest which was responsible for taking so many lives, and the pilot was the leader of that mob. So does that mean whatever is happening in this current reality is their own karma?
There is a belief like that, yes. There is a belief. If you are suffering right now, it means you did something bad in the other life and you are paying for that karma here. There is that belief, yeah.
Back to the conversation. I want to take again a step back. That was too intense. So much is happening in the world, right? And people go through so much of pain. Maybe it's personal, maybe it's out there in the world, but everybody is going through something or the other in some or the other way. Why is that? Why do people go through so much of pain in the first place?
Okay, so I feel like pain is part of the journey. So the problem that we were taught to escape pain. When you don't feel good, when this doesn't feel good, let's numb it with something else. But the reality of things, that pain is part of the process. You cannot really escape pain. And you have to go through it to detach from it and go to the next level. So it's just a mindset change. I used to get scared of pain. Okay, who likes pain? No one likes pain. But then you understand that's the door to go to the next level. Once you change your mindset about pain, it will not be as painful as it should, right? It will not be like, oh, I'm a victim. Why this is happening to me? I don't feel good. It will be like, okay, this hurts. I acknowledge that. What's the lesson? And how can I move forward on that?
This is very similar to something that one of our guest Prashant talked about. And he mentioned that if you actually want to heal, first of all, you have to be vulnerable that, yes, I am feeling this. Get out of that victim mentality and be acceptable that you are going through that. You have to first accept it. So there are 2 parts to it. First, get out of that victim mentality and accept it, that is happening to you. Treat it as a lesson and move on. But on the other hand, what if there is a situation that is external to you. For example, if I'm in a toxic relationship, I'm feeling a lot of pain because let's say I'm not being loved the way I want to. I do have a choice in that case. But let's say I am in a scenario where I don't have any choice. Then how do I deal with that? In that scenario, what do I accept? Because I don't have any choice to get through that.
So you're saying you're in a toxic relationship, so you are in pain because of that person. He's putting you into that because he's not giving you what you need, right? Where you have two options. Again, you always have a choice. Either you're gonna stay with that person and you're gonna work on those triggers, whatever you're expecting from him, you give it to yourself, and that's when you detach, and there will be no pain, or you detach from the person himself or herself. That's not the right relationship for you. This relationship is bringing me pain, is bringing me suffering, and you detach. The problem, people, they are in pain in a relationship. I'm giving the example of in a relationship that is not good. They are in pain. They acknowledge the pain. They don't want to let the person go. And then they tell you, what should I do?
Self-doubt, right?
Yeah.
People don't want to take that step.
You have to trust. So again, you have to know if that's the pain coming because the relationship dynamics is not good, because that person is toxic, or is it you? You are putting some beliefs and boundaries that's causing you pain. Because again, we expect so much from a partner. As a woman, the guy should take care of me, should do that, should do this. These are all expectations. When they are not met, we feel that, oh, why this is happening? I'm in pain. But these are the limit that we put to ourselves. Partner is not there to take care of us. He's on his journey, I'm on my journey, and we are together to be happy. So if I'm in pain, that it's my choice. Again, either detach from the person or work on yourself to transcend these triggers.
What exactly is transcending?
Transcending the triggers, it means, like I said, let's say your wife doesn't cook food at home and you don't like that. You hate that. So you have a choice. Either you're going to detach from that woman and be with someone who cooks food for you. I'm just giving a metaphor, right? Or you're going to accept that maybe that's not her job to do that for you. Maybe that's a cultural thing that they put in your head. They made you believe, oh, wife, it's her job to do that. So you work on that belief and you realize it's not actually her job. It's our job together. And that will ease the pain. Because the pain, it's a clash of a belief and expectation happening in life. That's when pain is created.
Pain is a combination of expectation and belief.
Yes. You believe something and you expect that's going to happen. And when it doesn't happen, it's causing us pain. So again, having high expectations, thinking what you believe is the right thing, right? All these things.
But isn't sometimes high expectations good? Because only if you dream big, you can achieve it.
Dream big for yourself, but not for the other people. Like if you are already with the person and you are expecting them to be a certain way, I will ask you why you chose them in the first place. Why you didn't choose someone who already have that expectation? You understand? Because sometimes we get with someone, it's so nice, it's passionate, but then we realize, oh, our expectations are not met. Because in the beginning, we get caught up in the love, really nice honeymoon phase, right? But from the beginning, you need to be strict about it. Like, does she have what I really need? Because if she doesn't, and then you want her to have, that's not fair. It means you are not really accepting her as she is. And that's when things start happening, right?
So has spirituality changed the way you see love as well? Like, what's the real definition of love for you now? And especially after Kundalini Awakening.
Yeah, it's different. Love, I would say love for yourself. I think that's the first lesson you get from awakening. It's love for yourself, literally. You will love yourself, take care of yourself. You will have your boundaries. It's something new. We are not used to that in this life. We are used to like giving love to people, to partner, to relationships. But what about us? Once you start doing that, then you create balance and love. Then you won't expect too much love from outside because you're already giving it to yourself. That's where the balance comes. And then that's love to yourself and love for the other person. So the other person you start loving unconditionally. You love them as they are. You don't want to change them. You just love them as they are. That's another level of love. It's like a mother to a child. No matter what the child will do, the mother will always love a child, right? It's unconditional love. Imagine you reach that love with a partner, that he's not from your blood. That's a different level of awareness again.
I think we have been grown up with the wrong definition of unconditional love, what a relationship is about, what love should be about. And just yesterday, we were having dinner at Patkarai, that restaurant, and I brought this conversation up because a few months back, she asked me this question as to what love is for you. That time I didn't have an answer because I do not believe in all that romanticized love where there's unconditional love. Because how do you define an unconditional love? I don't know what that feeling is like. But at this point in life, at least I was able to pinpoint, okay, love for me is accepting the other person as they are, helping them in their growth while you work on yourself, but still choosing that person over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my definition of love, but that suffices. But sometimes the movies, the people around you portray so much of their perception of love that sometimes you start to think to yourself, what is even love? And the way we see love on media is not even true.
Yeah.
And that causes more pain and suffering. Whatever medicines you talk about, those plant medicines, ayahuasca, mushroom, DMT, I think at the end of the day, they all connect you back to the source so that you can get a glimpse of that unconditional love.
And the source is you. You have it. It's here.
We are all part of the source down here on earth.
Yeah.
So after Kundalini Awakening, do you feel that frequency? Do you feel that unconditional love?
Not all the time, of course. Like it's not like a constant feeling that you have all the time. It comes and it goes. It depends. So when I'm leading sessions, I'm in that space because I choose to be in that space. So I have unconditional love for everyone. When I meditate in that moment, I have unconditional love. But sometimes in some moments, you don't feel it. You snap out of it. That's when you go back and then you catch yourself again. But at least I experienced what does that mean. I know it exists and I know that's an option that we can have.
So you can make better choices to still align to that frequency. Okay.
Yeah.
So is this journey of Kundalini Awakening always painful? Like, why do people actually go through so much of pain? I know this is it is filled with lessons.
Okay.
But does it all tie up back to something?
So there is good and bad in the awakening. The bad thing is when you are awakening and you are detaching from the ego. That's the hardest part. Detaching from those beliefs that they put in you when you were a child. Detaching from whatever your parents put in you, from your friends, your circle. So that's the hardest part. Imagine you've been like that for 30 years. You were raised like that. And now you have to detach from that. That's very painful. It's like you are peeling skin. You are peeling a layer and it feels like that. But once you start peeling and you reach a little bit to the soul, then things will start becoming easier. Easier, what does it mean? Then you feel more connected. You will get guidance from spirit guides, through dreams, through synchronicities. Life will flow again. It's just that part when the ego is detaching. When you tell the ego, hey, I see you and you're not going to control my life anymore. When you make that choice, it's very hard because that's the old you and you will grieve the old you. Your ego will miss the old you. You will grieve. Yeah, you will grieve because you've been always like that and that made you survive so many things in life. You survived childhood trauma, you survived school, you survived jobs, interviews. Yeah, so for you, I am like that. That's part of me. So the idea is when you know that you are not like that and you can really detach, that's when the pain happens, the separation. So it's a good pain. It will be really worth it. It will be worth every tear and every pain after.
I've been through that. It's tough because there's always a resistance. that
The
ego
resistance, yeah.
will try to get you back.
Yeah.
Let's say if I'm trying to break a belief, you again get back to your old patterns and habits. But that's the thing. The more you repeat a pattern, the more you tend to realize it, and it's easier to break. And it just takes one choice to actually break it.
Yeah.
At the end, it's just one conscious choice, that 3 or 4 seconds of breath
Exactly.
that you were talking about. Okay, this is what happened. I'm aware. Let's make a different choice.
Yes.
And things do change. And
Yeah.
the funny thing is, these small changes and breaking of patterns, they do not matter. But if you look back, a person can change so much in 1 year. For me, it could be a small change during the day.
Yeah.
But now when I look back, I'm not even the same Rahul anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not even the same Rahul anymore.
Exactly.
So,
but it was harder in the beginning for you, right?
Oh, absolutely.
But now it's
100%.
easier. Now it's easier. So you're confirming what I just said.
Yes.
In the beginning, it's so hard. But once you do it, once you go through that, then it's going to be easier.
That's what. This journey is easier to walk. This path becomes easier if you have a supportive partner.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you walk it alone? It's pain. People go through so much of pain. That this journey is very tough alone.
Yeah.
So do you think the relationships in your life, they do matter? Like, can you only walk that journey when you have support? Because it would be difficult to walk that path alone, because if you're alone, there are no lessons.
Yeah.
There is no reflection of you. So what's your take on that?
So, I mean, you are lucky that you have a supportive partner, but not everyone is as lucky as you. I feel that doing the path alone, it's actually easier.
It's easier.
Yeah.
How so?
Because you don't have a partner that's triggering you all the time.
But
you have that
I was...
alone time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will have the time to sit with yourself and be alone with your own thoughts and connect really without any external. I mean, it's nice to have a partner who can calm you down, right? What if you calm yourself down? What type of power you will have? That's what I'm saying. Imagine you learn how to calm down by yourself without someone telling you, hey, this is it, calm down, right? Without guidance. So it's like it's deeper knowledge. And from that, if you do the path alone, you can lead people one day because you went through it alone. You know how it feels like and you know how to get out of it. So I feel like a lot of healers and guide, they went through the journey alone. I used to complain before, oh, I did it alone. Why other people, they have teachers. My husband, he has me. I wish if I had someone like to help me, right? I had that. But in the end, I said, no, I actually was good. I did it hard because now I can lead people into these specific things. And then sometimes they tell me, how do you know? I tell them, I went through it. I went through the same thing. So that's how, from that, you can start leading people.
Kind of, because back when I was alone, I would think that I've worked on my triggers, but only another person can reflect those back on you. So let's just say, for me, being alone was like theory. This is something I have to work on. And being in the relationship, it was like universe is testing you. Let's see how much you have actively learned.
Yes.
I'm going to put you in that situation and see how much you can actually control your anger. How much you can actually calm yourself down. How much you can actually understand the perspective of the other person.
Yeah.
And during that, I feel made my journey faster. Because I probably wouldn't have been able to pick up this pace when I was alone rather than now. Because there could be triggers that I am not able to see or patterns, but if other person points those out to you, you are like, okay, yeah, no, I know you were right. Let me work on those. It just somehow becomes faster.
True. I believe that relationships can transform you like this because you see yourself and the other person will mirror your problems. But again, you ask me a question in spirituality, on spiritual awakening, do you need another person? That was the question. And you don't really need. But that person can really show if you are there or not. So let's say you do the work by yourself. You think that you are healed and you go into a relationship and you are not there, right? So the journey, if you are doing it alone, it is harder than doing it in a partner. But the outcome of it, like I said, if you have a hard journey, the outcome is going to be bigger. You will have more healing. You will have deeper connection. You will have deeper understanding than with a partner. Because you had no other solution than looking inward. If you have a partner, he's all the time pointing things in you, you are using something external to know what's wrong with you instead of tuning in by yourself and understand yourself without anyone telling you what's wrong. So that's what you build when you do this journey alone. And again, when you are in a relationship, that's when everything gets tested.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's like a battleground.
Your whole sanity gets tested, your
Yes.
whole spirituality
Yes.
gets, and that's when you see, are you aligned? Are you not aligned? Is this good? Is this not good? But I believe that if you are alone, you can still go through the spiritual journey alone.
You can. I just feel that a partner can accelerate that if that partner is the right partner.
Is in the right path.
Right partner as well.
Yes.
Otherwise, you can get stuck with karmic partners.
Yes, true.
You can actually get stuck with karmic partners.
Yeah.
And I also heard that, rather I also read that Kundalini starts to awaken when there's a balance of masculine and the feminine side. What exactly is that? Because we're talking about relationships, a man, women, a relationship is a dynamic between a masculine and a feminine.
Yeah.
And Kundalini awakens when you balance both. What exactly is that? What's masculine? What's feminine? How do you balance that on, and will only then will I start to see a balance rise in the Kundalini?
I think balancing feminine and masculine is part of the process. It's not like when Kundalini awakens, you have to have balanced masculine. There's a lot of people who are unbalanced who had an awakening, right? I had an awakening and I was very unbalanced, right? So in the path, when you will have an awakening, you will have the awareness to check, okay, how is my masculine? How is my feminine? So you reflect as a man, you're masculine and you're feminine as well, because you men want to be connected only to the masculine. You don't want to be connected to the feminine. Like you have that misconception, right? Which is not true. Like a man should have both balanced and we women as well. The problem that we women right now, we have more masculine because we are working, we have jobs, we take care of home, we have dreams.
Thank you. This is a topic that not many people actually talk about. When, this is why you leave so many people behind as this journey, because last year, probably it's been 2 years when I was in college, I had a good set of friends I would probably hang out with and drink with. And I just did not have a space, or the people around me were not in the mindset of spirituality where they could understand where I'm coming from. So whenever I would say that, women are technically not supposed to work 24 hours because they are in their masculine, there would be so much backlash. That's such an old mentality. Nowadays, it's all 50-50. I'm like, that's not even what I'm talking about. So this is such a hard concept to grab, but thank you so much.
Yeah. They see it as, oh, are you telling that women shouldn't go to work? We're not saying that. So the idea is women, they should choose to work, not obliged to work.
Forced
and
to
they
work,
should choose something they can be creative, because the feminine energy is intuition and creation.
Yes.
So if you are a woman and you are working in a corporate, that's not like very feminine energy, right? You are working in something like you are working towards a salary. You're not really creating something from something that you love. You're working for a company to make money. That's it. There is no intuition, there's no creation. But imagine if a woman doesn't have to work and will go to her creative side, and what can she create? Experiences, meditation, I don't know, events. Like, well, feminine energy is so creative. So, but we do that because we want to do it, not because we are obliged to do it.
Yes.
Now society is obliging us to do it. So all this creativity we are suppressing. We don't have time for that because we are working in a corporate. At the same time, you have to take care of home. And imagine you have kids on top of that. So there is not even time to connect with the feminine. So that is a current problem.
What is actually feminine? I know it's full of intuition, but
the feminine surrender.
It's surrender.
The feminine, it's surrendering, is letting go. It's the opposite of controlling, right? So I surrender, I let everything flow. We lead things with love, right? Creativity, using your intuition. So it's less mind. It's less you men, the masculine is more mind, making things happen, right? Safety, mental solution. Feminine is intuition, is creativity, and that's why they both, if the man has balanced masculine and feminine, and the woman have both, they can create so much.
It's a dance of the source.
Yeah.
Imagine a true masculine and a true feminine coming together. The power that they would have down on this earth. It's beautiful.
Yes.
It's actually beautiful.
And again, the masculine, it's not only like the power and doing. Masculine as well is connected with your own emotions. You know how to control your emotions. You're not scared of the feminine energy. You're not scared of the feminine emotion, because they're not real masculinity. Some toxic masculinity. They are scared.
Macho.
They're scared of the feminine energy. It scares them. It shows them.
Can you elaborate on this more? What is being scared of the feminine?
So the toxic masculinity, they are scared of the power of the feminine. They feel that she wants to overpower. They don't see it as love. They don't see it that way. They see it as, I'm the man. I'm supposed to make orders. I'm supposed to do this. But the real man is the man who listens, the man who's grounded, the man who gives space to the woman to express how she feels. There is a lot of toxic masculinity that try to suppress, right? If he has a wife, why you feel this way? Why you think this way? Why you do this way? Why you did? Just listen, just hold space.
Yes.
And you will see your wife, how she can be so creative, and she can create a home for you, not a house, right?
Yes.
A home, she can create even a business, who knows? But you have to hold space for her and not be scared of that energy.
That's a myth, right? You go back to that social media, and there's this so many videos going on what a real what masculine should be, but that's not actually true. And again, this took another 1 year of journey to realize that real men should listen to their wives or their partner. It's not a clash of the egos. If you're in your wounded, yes, there's going to be a clash that I am the man, I'm the head of the house.
Yeah.
And that's what happened in the majority. This is what's happening in today's world.
Yeah.
Men will try to order women. Women are in their masculine. They want to control situation. But it's a chaos right now.
Yeah.
But a real man, in order to hold space for the woman, will get into his feminine.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel lesson of every masculine man is. Their lesson is to learn how to be in their feminine energy.
Exactly.
And a healthy masculine to hold space for their partner.
And yet they can only do that if they work on them trauma, because usually these men, they have mother wound. So the mother wound, it's when the mother was so controlling when he's a kid. She's the one who making decisions and everything. So when he grow up, he doesn't want to. So any woman who try to control something, he sees her as his mom and he gets triggered and he cannot handle that. So unless he heal that part inside him and he heal the mother wound or father wound, maybe the father was not as present and it created a void and he want to compensate for that. Unless he touch these two, mother wound and father wound, he cannot really connect with the feminine. He cannot feel safe. He has to feel safe again. Like the man has to feel safe again in himself, right? And that goes back to childhood. It's either mother or father.
And how does bullying connect to it?
What's bullying?
If somebody was bullied back in the childhood, does that affect? What wound does that categorize into? How does that show up in the wounded masculine?
I think if someone will criticize you or say something about you, you will go out of your mind. You don't accept. You take things too personal.
I would do that.
Yeah, you would do that.
Because I was bullied back in the childhood and it was an extremely hard journey to forgive and overcome that.
Okay. It makes you aware of something, aware of the people, aware of the dynamic, aware of yourself when you are in a very early age. Again, I know you see it as a problem and I suffered, but why you went through that? The idea. And are you carrying that with you in your relationship today? So when your partner say, hey, you didn't wash the dishes today, are you going to lash out on her? What do you mean? Or are you going to say, oh, okay, yeah, sorry, I forgot. No problem. I'll do it later. There's a difference between these two responses. right? So yeah, men have to work on the childhood trauma, bullying, mother wound, father wound, so they can be better partners, better fathers for them kids one day.
Yes, that's true. And I think every lesson that you go through, you technically are doing a favor for your child.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it, they have to break the generational curse. And this is something that I strongly believe in. Because if I am going through certain lessons, and now it is so easy to identify that the reason I'm going through this because it's running in my lineage. That gives me more power to, you know what, let me be the special one and break the generational curse. And it does feel good.
Yeah.
Because if I don't do it, my kids will have to do it.
Yeah, that's a choice you have to make.
Yes.
Do you want to do that for them?
Yeah.
Or you don't really care? You want to live your life like it is. And when you have a child, you're going to be faced by the truth because the child will mirror who you are. And then God knows the child what he's going to take. Because if you are an angry person and the child keeps seeing that, that's what he's going to take.
Yeah.
He's going to be an angry person. So you're going to see your personality in them. So yeah, this is one of the motivation why I'm on this path, actually, because I want to be a good mother for my children one day.
Yes.
I don't want them to carry what I'm carrying right now. It's not fair.
So men majorly have either the father wound or the mother wound.
Yeah.
And if they resolve that, they would get on the becoming their true masculine selves.
Yeah, they work.
And what wound would a feminine have? What does a wounded feminine look like?
Same mother wound, father wound, but it's not like that. So if I have a father wound, I will be looking for someone to take care of me, even though that someone is toxic. As soon as he give me attention, I'm hooked. That's the father wound. Because when I was a child, my father didn't give me love. So I'm looking for love from any man. So whatever man will give me attention, I'm going to go for him. That's the father wound. That's not my experience. I'm just giving an example. The mother wound, it's the controlling. If I'm too controlling in a relationship, I want to control what you do, what we do, what's this, what's that. That's the mother wound. Because my mom mirrored that behavior, and I thought that's the right way to do things. My mom maybe was not in her feminine, so I don't know what's a feminine again. Yeah, and these patterns you see, you start reflecting on your life, you see something is not working, and you start going back. Why this is not working, from where it's coming from, and you start going backward.
Do you feel good after coming into your feminine? Because many women are afraid to surrender because they feel like it's a very negative word. Oh, I don't want to surrender to a man. But how do you feel about it?
You're not surrendering to a man. You're surrendering to yourself. Right? It's not to a man. You're still taking care of yourself. It's not like it's his job to take care of my emotions. It's not like that, because we have in my culture, the feminine should be just chilling and the man working and bringing food and all that. That's not how it is. The feminine is as important as the masculine. You will have an active role, literally. But that active role is letting go and controlling less and just follow your intuition. Like, this is new for me too, right? I come from a background, I'm a very controlling person, and I had to work on that and understand, because otherwise it's not gonna work. I have to let go to make a relationship work. I have to let go with my coworkers to make the dynamic good, right? You cannot just keep holding on to things and try to control everything. That's very masculine. And we as women, we feel drained when we are in the masculine. It's very draining. It doesn't feel good. Even though I like planning and making decisions, but I like as well flowing. It's very nice. And following my intuition. You really feel very connected as a woman.
So intuition is your strength?
Yeah. One of my strengths, yeah.
Why was there a second thought?
There is so many...
What's your other strengths then?
I would say my trust in myself.
Your trust in yourself.
Because I think I did this path alone a lot, right? Since I'm a kid and everything was alone. So I built that connection with myself from the inside. I went through so much alone that I know how to connect with myself and bring myself back. So that's the best thing I really got from spirituality. And that's why I'm not as scared from death as I was before. Because before, death scares me. Now it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be okay because I trust what's here. I trust I went through it all, and yeah.
I think a lot of pain also comes from holding on, controlling.
Yeah.
Again, coming back to expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people these days have failed to trust their intuition.
Yeah.
Right?
We follow data.
Mhm.
We follow a plan. But what about this? What this is saying? What inside is really saying, right?
Does that,
Disconnected completely from that.
for feminine true, does that hold the same for
You have
masculine
your
as well?
intuition too.
So should men be more logical or more intuitive?
Balance. Balance for both. Always balance. You should be the guy who provides solution and as well follow your intuition too. That's
Okay.
the best combination.
I know that my 9 to 5 is not giving me a certain level of satisfaction. But people still have to do it to live in this 3D. Then what do? You can't even leave the job because that's your bread and butter, because you also have to survive in this reality. And on the other hand, you're still questioning yourself that what's my soul calling?
Yeah.
Then how do you balance that spiritual side and the reality side? Because at this point, I do have that certain level of awareness that I am pretty sure that I wasn't sent on this earth to work for somebody else.
Yeah.
For somebody else. But I do appreciate that job because it gives me enough to sustain my living.
Yeah.
Then how do I balance that? I can't even quit that, because then I would lose my shelter.
So use that job to fund your dreams until you find your dream, because now you don't know what you want to do. It's normal. So you cannot just quit your job and do nothing or just do podcasts. So let's say you need to find what do you really want, what you are good at the same time with keeping your current job, right? Because that job will help you pay for whatever workshop or training you need to do. Have a plan B and start having both. You have your corporate job and you have your side. Once you start believing in yourself more and that side will become more your purpose, then you can quit the other one and take the other one. So it's like you are here right now. This is your corporate. This is your dream, right? So you're going to go like this way. You're going to find, look for your dream, keep the corporate. Once you find your dream, right? You don't need this anymore. And once your dream, of course, can sustain you as well. So this is my path, right? I'm still working in a corporate and I'm doing all these sessions. But again, I found my path when I was really actively looking. I was like, I cannot stay in a corporate. What is my skill? What can I do? And I start looking and going to workshop, going to classes until I found what I found today. So now I'm moving towards detaching from the corporate. It might happen next year, the year after, but at least I'm not as obsessed and I don't feel very bad about corporate anymore because I have a new option now in my life. I know if next day the corporate will fire me, I'm not gonna die because I found my passion. I can live with this. You understand? I can go anywhere in the world and I can do what I do right now. So you are on that path too. You just need to find what is your thing. It might be this, the podcast. Be serious about this, about the podcast. Give as much importance to your podcast as you give to your corporate job. And you will start.
That's the thing, right? People are so attached to their work. Like, especially in India, the work culture is the management will be there at the office at 8 and leave at 8 in the evening. They have no life but just work. And that's the culture where I have come
You
from.
were born. Yeah, I know. Same for us. Like for us, you need to have a really nice job in a bank, a salary every month. And you cannot blame them. They were raised like that. They are surviving, right? Again.
That's the right word.
It's surviving. You have that salary. And again, that salary will never make you rich.
Yeah.
And I realized that. I was like, wait, I've been working, doing this job for 10 years. I cannot even buy a house right now. That's not normal.
Yeah.
is that they're just sucking your energy. You're spending 8 hours from your valuable time. Imagine if those 8 hours you give to your creative side, to something that you really love, and you put your energy in it. It will flourish. It will bring you abundance. Believe me. If you really believe in something and you really like it and you put your energy in it, it will bring you abundance. You just have to believe it will, because we are too scared to go for something unknown. It's scary for me too. Again, I didn't detach from the corporate yet, but I'm in that process of detaching.
You feel scared?
Yeah, it's scary.
What scares you?
It's being without constant salary every month, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if this month I don't have clients? Like what I'm gonna do? So yeah, that's my relationship with money, security, safety, and all that.
So if you were to give one advice to everybody watching that could change lives from your perspective, what would it be?
One advice. Be curious about your life. Just be curious, because from curiosity, you can have so many experiences. Just be curious. Be curious about your current life. Reflect about your life. If you are not feeling good, if you are unhappy, if you are going through a situation, just see what's the problem. Have a vision. See where you want to go. Work on yourself. Work on your childhood trauma. Do the shadow work. And trust and believe in yourself. And we are all in this path. It's not only me or you. It's just we are different levels. That's it. So it's just more like believe in yourself, trust yourself. And if you are in a not good place right now and you feel like this doesn't make sense and this is too scary or it's too painful, just know that the light is on the other side. Like it is really on the other side. I came from a lot of pain from my personal experience, my culture, my surroundings, my life. And I couldn't think that one day I'm gonna be as loving as I am now. And seeing myself and seeing the people transformation, that means you don't have to be like this all your life. Like you don't need to be your childhood trauma, your abuse, your job that you hate. That is not who you are. You can be who you really are. Just start exploring who you really are. Get curious about who you are. Get curious. And then the path will unfold.
Wow. And how can people get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me through my Instagram, Qalb, which is QALB. So I guide the Kundalini activation sessions and sound healing sessions. And the intention is always to have this gathering so we can all connect. I guide people into sessions where they can really connect through music, sound, and energy. Yeah, so it's been very exciting for me to lead people and see transformation. That's the most rewarding part, to see someone coming and saying, hey, like, I really felt something today. This is really changing me. And that's the most rewarding thing, to put my head on the pillow at night and feel that I could change someone and help them even a little bit to see the light.
And it does satisfy you from within.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Even hearing you speak about your journey, about your experiences has been very inspirational.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us. Thank you so much for watching, and be curious. Get to know who you actually are. You are not your thoughts. Explore why is something happening to you in this life. And the more curious you will be, more doors will open as you flow with life and not just hold on to it in order to survive. So like, share, subscribe, get in touch with Wafa so that you can start and get more information on this transformational journey if you're interested. So thank you.
Wow.